Hi guys, today's video is a little different from my usual. For the past month and a bit I have been working on filling up this sketchbook and turning all of the paintings into postcards and some of them into prints as well, and doing a shop update with them. So I wanted to show you the behind the scenes of what I've been up to and what the whole process was like, from painting to making postcards to updating the shop and then packing orders and all of that. So I'll leave timestamps below so you can jump around to different parts since this video is a little bit long. I started filming this process around 3 weeks ago. This was when I was up to the third last page in my sketchbook, which is the one you're currently seeing me painting. I started the first painting in early September, so about 2 months ago, and when I first started I wasn't intending to turn this into this project, but after a few paintings I thought it would be a good idea to actually paint in different themes and to turn them into themed postcards, because I'd always wanted to try and turn some of my paintings into postcards, so I thought this would just be a good opportunity. So that's when I actually started thinking about doing this project. And a lot of you guys actually asked me how or where I made the postcards, so I'll show you the process for that as well. It was quite easy actually. I just got them made from moo.com. I think they're a company based in the UK. So after I finished 7 paintings, I sent them off to Moo to be turned into postcards. This was kind of a test run because I just wanted to make sure that the quality of them were good. My biggest concern was that I didn't know if my phone could take photos of my paintings that were true to their real color and look, and whether that quality would be good enough, since I don't have a scanner at home and I've never made prints or anything, so I honestly had no idea how to do this. But luckily the first 7 postcards came back and I really loved how they turned out, so that gave me a lot of confidence to continue with this project. I actually did lose a bit of motivation halfway through the sketchbook, but after seeing how the postcards turned out I was really happy, and that really motivated me to want to see this whole project through. So after I finished all the paintings I sent them all off, and then I started preparing for the shop update. The shop update included the postcards but also the original paintings from my sketchbook, and later I also decided to make some A5 size prints in case anyone was interested in buying larger size prints, since the postcards were only A6 size, so they were quite small. So I made some prints as well. I started by preparing the originals for the shop, so I had to cut them all out of my sketchbook, and then I neatly cut off the edge as well. Then while I waited for the postcards to arrive, I started to slowly update my website in preparation for listing up all the items. I recently built my own website with Squarespace because I really wanted to sell off my own website and just kind of have a place of my own where I could customize it. So since I was still fairly new to this, I had to spend quite a bit of time just kind of playing around and updating things like shipping, especially since shipping internationally is a little bit complicated right now. So I spent quite a bit of time just looking into all of that and just trying to understand how to actually run my own online shop. Now I'll show you how I made the postcards. So I just went to moo.com and I chose the A6 size postcards, and you can actually upload up to 25 different designs in each set. So I only had 21 paintings, so I uploaded all of them, and they were just all photos taken with my phone. I did minimal editing afterwards since I don't really know how to edit anyways. I only tried to fix some things from where I noticed in the first test run the printing kind of made it a bit more pink than it was, so I just fixed that up, and then I just uploaded them all, and I kind of just played around and just adjusted the fit of them, because when I painted the paintings I didn't really keep in mind about the ratio, and so unfortunately some of the painting had to be cut off at the top and bottom since it didn't fit perfectly to the ratio of A6, but that was alright. And then after I chose a matte finish and uncoated on the back in case people actually wanted to use them as postcards to write and send to friends or something, so I chose that option. And that was it. And then I paid for express service and it arrived within a week, and next I'll show you the unboxing of them. So the postcards arrived and I was really happy with them. I was so relieved that they turned out well, because if they hadn't turned out well, then this whole project would have been a flop. So I was really happy when I was flipping through them, and I was really happy with all of them. I also managed to fix some of the issues that I spotted in the first test run, and I'll show you what I mean by that in a little bit. Also, these ones were packaged better because they didn't come with any dented corners. In the first test run, the way that they packaged it, some of the corners of the prints were a little bit dented, so I was worried the same thing would happen to these, but they were packaged much better, so I was really happy with that. Here I'm comparing some from the first test run and the ones that I fixed up. On the left you can see how in the sky it's a little bit pink, which is just a printing error because that definitely wasn't in the original painting. So I managed to clean that up in Photoshop, and I also fixed up these ones as well. The clouds all came out a little bit pink, so I reduced that. Next, the prints arrived a week later. I ordered them from a local art studio in Melbourne. I was even more nervous opening these because I really had no idea how they would turn out, but I was really pleased with the results, so I was again really relieved. I only turned a few of my favorites into these larger prints, and again I used the photos from my phone to make them. In the future I would like to invest in a scanner so I can make these prints in even larger sizes, since it seems like the biggest size that I can make right now that still retains its quality is about an A5 size. So in future I'm hoping to get a scanner so I can make even larger size prints of my work. After the prints arrived, I was pretty much ready for the shop update. I just needed to sign all of the prints and take photos of them and list them up onto my website. I'd already been taking photos of all the postcards and I'd already listed them all up by then, and I had figured out all the shipping and everything, so the prints was just the last piece of the puzzle and everything else was pretty much ready to go. This was now a day before the shop update, so that night I just spent some time figuring out how I would ship the postcards safely. I have shipped paintings before, so I wasn't too worried about how to post them safely. But with the postcards, I really wanted to make sure that none of them arrived with dented corners or anything. So what I did was I got a lot of spare cardboard boxes and I cut them up into sizes that were just bigger than the postcards, and then I kind of just sandwiched the set of postcards in between two of the cardboards, and then later when I packaged them I would also wrap them up so that way they wouldn't be damaged, hopefully in any way. Since international orders now can take quite a while to reach their destination, I really wanted to make sure they arrived safely. I didn't package them all that night just in case I needed to be a bit more flexible if someone bought postcards and maybe a print or something, so I could package them the best way possible. I did also organize the postcards into themes and package them in individual sleeves because they were being sold as a whole set but also as individual sets by theme, so I wanted to have those ready as well. I already had a lot of packaging at home. I had small padded envelopes if only a few postcards were ordered. I also had some bigger envelopes, and I also had rigid mailers if only a print or an original was ordered, so that was all good. I had set the shop update for 12 p.m, so I was just waiting around for that, And in the lead up, I actually became really nervous. I wasn't expecting that, but I think because it was my first time doing something like this, so I was just nervous to know how it would go, if people would actually be interested, would they buy within the first hour or something. So I got really nervous in the lead up, but it all went smoothly. I uploaded everything and I just checked that it was all good, and then that's when I started to pack some of the orders that came through. For every order, I wrote a thank you note because I really am so grateful. You guys are literally making my dreams come true with every order that comes through. So thank you so much to everyone that made a purchase, or if you've just been here supporting me along the way. I am so thankful for that. You guys are making this all possible for me. Running a shop like this really is a dream for me, so I'm so happy that I was able to do this. I was so happy just packing every single order that came through. I loved packing all of them, and I loved knowing that all of these were going off to someone out there in the world somewhere. So it was just so exciting to me. So for the rest of the video, I'm just packaging all of the orders that came through. You'll see that my packaging changed a little bit throughout the process as I was kind of figuring out the best way to go about it. I wanted to make the packages as light as possible so that if you were just ordering a few postcards, you could pay for a much more affordable rate, since international shipping can get pretty expensive pretty quickly. So I tried my best to reduce the shipping costs. I know my packaging isn't the most eco-friendly, and I definitely want to improve on that in the future. If you have any suggestions for eco-friendly packaging, definitely let me know, because this is something that I really want to look into and improve on. But yeah, I hope you guys enjoyed hearing about and watching my process for this whole shop update. This project was definitely just a huge learning process for me, and I'm really happy that I gave it a go. Hopefully some of the things in this video are helpful to you if you're also thinking about making postcards or prints or something, or just doing your own shop launch. Feel free to keep watching if you want to see me pack the rest of the orders, but otherwise I will see you in my next video. Thank you for watching, and I'll see you soon. Bye bye.